Alright people, we're starting with hump day, Wednesday. Now, I'm a software engineer by day, which I like to think of as exercise for the brain. It's like those Nintendo DS games from back in the day that guessed your brain age, except now it's TypeScript and terminal windows instead of Sudoku. Most of my day is spent behind the Mac, sitting or standing at my desk. So, not the most physically exciting, but I genuinely enjoy it. It's mentally demanding, and hey, maybe all this coding is helping me dodge Alzheimer's? Who knows? I'm lucky to have flexible working hours, which means if I take a longer lunch break for training or recovery like I did on this Wednesday, I can just make up for that time later. But here's the thing, I wanted to show this part of my life because a lot of people assume that if you're training like an athlete or creating content on YouTube, that must be your whole life. It's not. I work a regular job, I train hard, I film and edit all my own videos by myself, and like everyone else, I'm trying to find balance. There just isn't enough hours of the day. And yeah, that means sometimes things have to get sacrificed, but that's part of the hybrid athlete lifestyle. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how I juggle it all. Okay, so there was a lot of this as we established. Work, 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 work. And I'm going to include it on the days that I'm working because it's realistic. I also worked overtime on this particular day, so I didn't manage to go for a run until it was a little bit later, but I caught the sunset, which was rather beautiful. Six more kilometers. 6 more. Can't speak. Bye. I'm so happy. I had a massive calisthenics session today. You'll notice this hybrid week is a little different from my regular training just because I've got the marathon coming up soon. I'm tending to get in one really nice, strong calisthenics session and then a second playtime session if I'm lucky, but most of my training now is consisting of running. The beauty of training in a hybrid manner is that not only do your weeks look very different, where some involve more running than others and some involve more resistance training or calisthenics in my particular case, but this can also change depending on month to month, according to if you have marathons coming up or any skills-based work like me learning the muscle up, which I want to prioritize as soon as I've got the marathon done. And in those weeks, I'll obviously be training more calisthenics than running. As you can see, this session consisted of lots of muscle up drills, including single bar dips and negative muscle ups, as well as pull-up sets and handstands. And I have my favorite sourdough seeded loaf, and I'm gonna not even make a sandwich, I'm gonna scoop out the avocado with the loaf as a spoon, because that's just how I roll, and I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Look at this bad boy. It almost looks like I made it myself, but it's from Lidl. It is so delicious. Okay, the seeds and crumbs go everywhere, but oh my God. And then I've got this avocado, which is perfectly ripe. I mean, what are the odds in that? And, well, let's check it out for ourselves. It's perfectly ripe. Okay, the seed's a bit big, but you know, we can't have it all. And I'm gonna just like tear chunks of this bread and then scoop up the avocado. Oh, so good. I finally made it to Victoria Park in London, in East London, where all the runners run. It's full of runners. I have my massive backpack with all the stuff in it, and it's a lovely, lovely day. So I'm going to run, I think, 2 rings around, and then meeting a friend, I think. So, lots of runners. Canal boats on that side. I love running in this park, but I also just ran 1 hour to get to this park. So nice. It reminds me of Hyde Park, one of the biggest parks in central London, but this one's in East. It's got a little Chinese pagoda thing. I don't know if you can see. The friction burns though. I also fell over on my nose. Joke. That's just tomato sauce from the homemade pizzas I made, if you can call them that. I don't care. Whatever I made, they were delicious. Look how thick those slices of bread were, let alone all the cheese and tomato and veg I put on it. One thing about running, it makes everything taste 100 times more delicious, because you're hungry constantly. The video only shows me demolishing 2 slices, but I actually ate the entire loaf of bread. And then I ate loads of chocolate, because not only does running make you hungry, it makes your stomach a bottomless pit. Instead of the gym, I went to the park on Saturday because it was a beautiful sunny day, and I thought I'd try to do a scorpion handstand. So this is not a deliberately ugly handstand, it's just that I'm trying to get the back leg to join the front leg, and as you can see, failing. This is my first time attempting a scorpion handstand. It should look a bit like this if I could hold it. It was a mixture of just a fun session. I had nothing really planned. I don't see these beams in commercial gyms a lot of the time, apart from these outdoor calisthenic spaces, so I decided to make the most of it and work on my leg mobility and balance. For a lot of us, just walking along the beams and practicing our balance can be really useful, especially balancing on one leg. But sometimes you can feel a little bit more creative, like I did today, where I decided to crawl, try a variation of pistol squats and different leg mobility exercises, even little hops and jumps to test my balance. I don't know if it's sad to admit, but these kept me entertained for almost an hour. It was just so fun. Here the sun had already gone down because it was well into the afternoon, but the sun was shining for most of the day. I got to practice my flexibility and mobility, like this move, which I use in ice skating a lot, and I was just having a lot of fun. If the weather permits, I'm always a fan of practicing and exercising outside. Not only is it great to get a few rays of the sun and vitamin D, but it's also free to train outside. And sometimes the change of environment can inspire us if we're feeling a little bit bored with our current gym routines. As much as it's important to have a discipline in your exercise, especially trying to incorporate it with balancing all the other things that life demands from you, such as your job and responsibilities that we have as adults, I do think it's important that once in a while you make time just to play, just to remember what it was like to be a child again, be explorative, creative, and move your body solely for the purpose of fun. I can't remember what I was thinking about here. Perhaps I was thinking about nothing and everything. This for me is a form of meditation because it's one way of keeping my mind completely clear and living in the present moment. I think our happiest moments as humans in our lives are when we can live in the present without worrying about the future or tormenting ourselves about our pasts. This almost killed me today, but it had to be done as I had no other time I could do it, and the weather was just beautiful. I always say with running, it's all about the mind and building resilience that you can do hard things. Oh my God, also guys, I started my period literally during this 3+ hour run, and the cramps were awful, plus I had to try and find a toilet, and it was just lots of chaos I didn't need. And I was running with the 10 kilogram backpack again, and I have now new cuts and friction burns to add to the old ones. Hooray for me! I did have a t-shirt on this time, but the sweat and the friction burns just were too much. But one thing that was fine was my legs, and I think it's down to me doing the leg workout from the video that I have up. If you're interested, you can watch it here. It's only 15 minutes, and I do it once or twice a week, and it's been fantastic.
Nice playing without these foods. I don't like too much.
Yeah, I know, it's the same clips of me typing on my Mac, but trust me, code was getting written every day, even if the footage was from the same day. Today is a rest day. It's a lovely sunny day in London. Just opening up the curtains, and yeah, I am not going to do anything other than have a mild walk in the park. At the moment, I've had to reduce calisthenics a little bit because I need to prioritise the runs, which are taking up a lot of time, but the London Marathon is very soon, so although I enjoy the runs, I find it a little bit difficult to run when I know I have to run. In the past, I just run because I really enjoy it, especially when the weather is this beautiful. But I'm missing my frequency of calisthenics training, and yeah, I don't have that many rest days, but hopefully I can enjoy today and enjoy some good food. I have Oh, you can't really see, but it's mince, loads of mince and purple cabbage, garlic, look at that big garlic, and spaghetti. I inhaled this meal. You can see from the clock behind me I had a very late lunch. It was almost 3 o'clock by the time I finally got to eat, so I was starving at this point. Then as a second course, I had my crisps. I love these crisps. They're deemed as healthy, but no crisp is really healthy, even if it's made of quinoa. And I love dipping it in hummus as well. Naturally, I ate the whole bag by 3:20, and then just 5 minutes later, I had a massive heaped bowl of chocolate mini Weetabix with unsweetened almond milk. And there you go, 30 minutes of me consuming around 2,500 calories. And some days my food looks super healthy like this. A mixture of all the veg, sprinkled with some fresh lime, coriander, and these 2 juicy mangoes seem to be ripe at the same time, so I will be eating 2 mangoes today. The saying 9 to 5 is so inaccurate when describing your job because most jobs like mine are 9 to 6 or even longer, or night shifts. This is snack time for me. It's pickled onions in vinegar, fried egg with jasmine rice and spinach. Can I be bothered? No. Am I doing it? Yes. After work, in the dark, wish me luck. And just like that, I'm back. All sweaty. And as Craig David titled his song, that was 7 days. If you're interested in seeing another hybrid week from me, this was one that I recorded around a year ago. And here you'll notice there's more calisthenics and resistance-based training compared to running. So you can see how hybrid changes and ebbs and flows, dependent on your goals, responsibilities, and life.